I really pray that I'm in focus. Hi guys, welcome to another one of my videos. Today I'm going to be talking about how to outline your novel, and this is pretty much how I always outline mine. Oh man, I used to absolutely loathe the idea of outlining my novels. I used to think that I qualified as a pantser, which is someone that doesn't outline their novels, they just kind of let the story write itself. But I was so wrong. I had this notion in my head that everyone telling me to outline my novel was pretty much just slowing down my process. Like, I was so set against it, I just did not want to outline. Like, I knew the story in my head, I was just gonna go in and write it, and that was gonna be it. But that's just not how it worked out. I think that the majority of writers will tell you that going into their novels without writing any of the information down first is just kind of a bad idea. There's just a lot of information for you to retain, and it's just so much easier when you just write it down so you can have a worksheet or you can look back at it and it'll all be there for you. So you'll just have everything that you need right in front of you. So I realize now that the people giving me advice to outline before were really just trying to save my skin from a lot of extra pain. Outlining is so important. It's the beginning of your writing journey. It's the first place that you can really info dump the story in your head and make it a crisp, clean idea. So without further ado, here's how I outline my novels. I personally do the cue card method just because typing it all out on my computer doesn't really seem that fun to me. But if you don't like that method, you can also use sticky notes, or you can use a poster board to draw an outline, or you can do the computer method, or I know a lot of people use Scrivener, which I've never used before, but I'm thinking about downloading it for this next novel I'm gonna outline. And if I do that, I will make another video about outlining on there and how I like it. But for the cue card process, here are some of the things that you'll need. 1, cards. 2, some markers. 3, scissors, but be careful. And 4, a floor or a poster board. I generally just make a mess out of my floor because I'm pretty lazy and cheap. I just make a nice mess on my office carpet. Next, you can choose a color code for your cards. I've honestly never really been good at this. I just end up with different colors everywhere, but it's okay because I'm being creative and I'm getting stuff down and it works for me. You can color code by characters, by different acts, by plots and subplots, or my favorite, by the tone of the scene. So as an example, I'm gonna use the basic outline of Cinderella, and I'm actually gonna move the camera so that you can see how I do it. Okay, so I couldn't get myself in the shot very well because my husband broke my camera stand. God bless him. I'm holding my camera, and I've written out some points for Cinderella just on let's just pretend they're cue cards for the sake of my sanity. I ran out of cue cards, so it's just paper. But, okay. So what I'm gonna do is just kind of lay them out the way that I would if I was outlining my novel. Okay, happy family. Mother dies. Father dies. Yes. Happy family is gonna be green because it's this happy little color. Mother dies is blue because that's sad. Father remarries is red because that's something that pisses me off. Wow, so my camera shut off, everybody. I am having a great filming day. Anyways, I laid out my plot points. I hope everybody knows the story of Cinderella. But this is kind of how I would section it off into chapters if it was my book outline. So there you go. So since my camera cut off, that was a very brief explanation of a basic outline, and you can kind of see how I end up with colors just kind of everywhere. After that process, I kind of leave an organized mess all over my floor, and then I move on to my computer where I add all of it in, and in between put in all of my juicy details. It's very important that you not leave the details out, because believe me, 2 months down the line, your one-word bullet is not gonna do it for you. Outlining is so important. Like, I never knew how important it is. And if you would have told me back when I was 14 that I was gonna actually really enjoy and value outlining, I would have laughed in your face. But it's the truth, and it has saved my life on more than a few occasions. So, my advice to you as a writer is to make a solid outline. Like, do not skip this process. Of course, if you are a pantser and you can just go by the seat of your pants, that's great. I wish that it worked out for me because I would have written a lot more novels by now. I tried so many books just being a pantser and none of them got finished. My advice to anybody going through that same struggle is just try your first outline and make it really solid and really concise. You'll find that during that, you've pretty much written your first draft of the book. Like, outlines can go on and on and on, which I try not to make mine that long, but I think my first one was about 15 pages, which is bullets of all the things I wanted. So that was a little bit extensive, but there are a lot of people that go a lot more extensive than that. So I know this was a very generic video on how to outline your novel. A lot of us writers use the same kind of process, but this is just what works for me. What works for you may be totally different, and that is just fine. I wish you the best of luck with your outlining and with your novel. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next Wednesday. Bye!